look, I'm not even going to get on Clemson, Georgia Tech because that game, it just brought back really bad memories for me for when Clemson when Clemson wasn't as good as they are now.
Let me ask you this.
You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association.
All right, guys. Welcome to the YMA Nation Podcast, Sports Talk Friday.
Hey, everyone. Sports Talk Friday.
Look how excited she is because her Clemson team won.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. If you're on right now, make sure you click that thumbs up button. Make sure you like, comment, and
Subscribe.
Down in the comment section, make sure you hashtag YMA Nation so you can go into our cash drawing. And make sure down in the description you check out. See, last week we were saying check out Good Vibrations. Now, down in the description, make sure you check out Black Caesar.
All right.
Black Caesar. Well, that's a powerful song. Black Caesar. Joe Wallace featuring Siege. So down in the comment, make sure you hashtag YMA Nation so you can win some cash. Also, follow us on our social media pages on Facebook, YMA Nation. Make sure you like and comment and share so you can also win cash. Your name goes in the drawing from that. And follow us on our Instagram page, YMA Nation.
All right.
This episode is brought to you by Masters Credit Consultants. Masters Credit Consultants, the expert in credit repair, credit restoration, and credit building. Check them out, www.masterscredit.com, 864-249-9466.
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, "It's just a credit score, relax."
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
Let's get going. Let's talk about some football.
I know. Quick recap and then get into this week. Quick recap.
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's start off with Miami. We're going to start off with my team.
Well, that was fun. Okay, next.
I know, right? Man. Come on, Miami. And I was bragging last week. I was all amped. Like, man, we about to stomp on Michigan State.
Well, I picked Michigan State.
You did. But you know, even on the polls, they had them at 3-point win. So there was a spread of 3 points. But they beat them by way more than 3 points, by 21 points.
I guess the next question is going to be, are they going to go ahead and relieve Diaz of his coaching duties and move forward with a new coach?
Interesting enough, online, all the fans are crying out, you know, get him out of there, fire him, right? But
I think that we're in a different society now where it's like you gotta
perform,
produce.
perform or go.
So, but he's been there for what?
A couple of years.
Yeah, he's been there for some years. I mean, he's had enough time to incorporate his recruits and his staff and things of that nature. So I think that they've given him enough time.
That's what they're saying, that he's had enough time to establish a team, right?
And build, right? But they're just not performing on the field.
So,
and I understand that when you're dealing with a quarterback that has injuries, that's your leader, that causes issues, but it's more than just the quarterback at this point in time.
That's my team, but I got to be honest, though. Last week, I mean, there was just too many gaps, though. From, well, again, going back to the QB, he had a fumble. He had 2 interceptions. But so now you take him out of the factor, look at the team, how they perform. Like, I think he got sacked 4 times. That's your offensive line, right? So if he don't have time to like step back, scan the field, and then he put the ball there. We had drop passes, so you have to look at the whole team as a whole. So when people say, you know what, the coach needs to go, because they're saying the team as like a whole unit, and if there's too many sections of a team that's not performing,
right,
then you say, okay, now I need to look at the coaches, right? So, but offensive line, it's like they gave up. No, so I got the stats: 3 sacks. They gave up 3 sacks. But then you got to look at again the team from Harris. Harris ran for 44 yards. 44 yards. I mean, that's like, so out of 11 attempts on carries, that's like 4 yards almost a carry. And then you see like why they lost when you have K. Walker ran for 172 yards. Almost like 4 times the amount, right, of our lead RB. So
it'll be interesting to see what they do. Hold
on 1 second before you go. Are you still talking about them?
No.
Okay, so before you move on, I didn't want to just ping out the offense. Defense, they're horrible in tackling. So it wasn't just, again, the team. You got to look at like the overall team. Tackling was horrible. So when you give up those points, and then you look at how those points was gained, you look at like wow, like he broke 3 tackles to get to the end zone. 3 tackles that should have been made. So then you got to look at like the overall team when they're performing like that. Okay, I'm done. But Miami, they have a game coming up tomorrow against Central Connecticut. And I don't know how the game is going to go. Central Connecticut has won 1 and lost 2. So we're almost like neck to neck right there. They averaging 17 points a game. We averaging 18 points a game. Like Central Connecticut, like they giving Miami the game, but I'm just looking at everything from the perspective of how they're performing right now. They're averaging 220 points a game. Miami is averaging 273 points a game. So there's no like wide variance. And then De'Aaron King is not playing either.
Right.
So you have to look at like all these factors. Will that team be able to like perform without its leader? Because even though he was hurt, he got hurt and on his right shoulder got hurt. So that had an impact on his performance. Like you said, the legs probably still not 100%. So that obviously impacting the performance. But take him out of the factor and still think he scored. He did put up 2 touchdowns and threw for over 300 yards.
Right.
So then that means that backup quarterback needs to come in and perform at least that well for Miami to at least have a chance.
Right.
I'm done, Miami. I'm done. I want to see them do better, though. If I was the coach, like nobody would be sleeping. Like we go, hey, I don't know about these grades, I don't know about classes, but y'all lunch break, y'all on the field. After that, we on the field. I don't know. You got to go to class. Go to class. I want y'all on the field. We're going to be out here till 9 o'clock at night. I'll still give y'all 7 hours of rest, but we going to be on this field for 5 or 6 hours. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm done. Miami, I'm done. Let's go. Let's get back on track.
Okay. So I told you the Alabama-Florida game was going to be close.
You did say it was going to be close.
And it was close.
It was close.
It was very close. It came down to like a couple of plays. Extra point plays at that, because Florida had went for 2-point conversion.
You said Florida was going to have a good
they
defense.
always play Alabama hard.
Yeah.
They always play Alabama hard. But that was a really good game. If you missed it, Penn State and Auburn was a good game. The whiteout, Auburn had to go to Penn State. That was a really good game too. So Penn State did win that game. I think I picked Penn State. Just on a roll here, people. On a roll.
I don't know. I'm
Penn
interested
State.
in seeing how Alabama perform. I mean, they got a easy team. They playing Southern Miss. You know, actually, all this, like tomorrow, I feel that all these games tomorrow is going to be.
There's some
not
really good games
difficult.
slated for tomorrow. So
okay,
we're gonna get there.
let's
But we're
get-
gonna
okay,
do
'cause I
we're
wanna
gonna
talk
do
about-
2 more recaps.
congratulations to Bryce too for performing the way he performed against Florida. Without his performance, I don't think they would have won that game.
So the 2 upsets were West Virginia upsets Virginia Tech, and Fresno State upsets UCLA.
Fresno State in the building.
So upsets are gonna happen. They're gonna keep happening. I keep telling you. And then look, I'm not even gonna get on Clemson Georgia Tech, because that game, it just brought back really bad memories for me for when Clemson wasn't as good as they are now.
Let me ask you this. What happened between the Georgia State game and South Carolina State game?
What do you mean? What happened?
So South Carolina State, y'all beat them like 48-3?
You mean the Georgia game?
No. Clemson beat South Carolina State for week 2, like 48-3.
Yeah.
And then they came back and struggled, like really struggled against Georgia Tech. What happened?
There were a couple of things that they said, that were talked about, discussed in the media. One is they didn't prepare for the defense that Georgia Tech brought out. So Georgia Tech brought out a different type of defense, played a different defense than Clemson had prepared for. So they had to make adjustments in order to try to compensate for the different defensive scheme that Georgia Tech ran.
Got you.
Clemson's got a lot to figure out. I get it. They said the offensive line is young. We knew the offensive line was going to have to grow up, right? The first couple of games, they were going to have to go through that. We knew the defense was going to be stout. They still haven't given up an offensive touchdown yet this season. We know that the defense is there, but the offense has got to come up with rhythm, and we lost Lynn J. Dixon to the transfer portal, which was our senior running back
Yep.
on the team.
So how do you think that's going to impact the game tomorrow?
I really don't know. They're getting what they wanted, which was they wanted Shipley to start anyway. They're getting that, but he's a freshman. So you're putting a lot on a very young offense. I get it, but at the same time, this goes back to the whole recruiting thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the guys that Clemson bring in are 4 and 5 star players.
Right.
If you're recruited at that level, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to block. And as an offensive lineman, you got one job. Your one job is to block.
One job. You got one job and one job only.
Block.
One job and one job only.
If you are a 4 or 5 star coming in and you can't block, that's a problem.
Miami, do you hear that? Miami,
and
offensive
that's
line,
I
one
don't care
job,
if you're a
and one job
freshman,
only.
a junior, a senior. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're recruited to come in as an offensive lineman and you're an offensive lineman and your whole high school career, you've been an offensive lineman and all you've done your whole career is block as many blocks as Clemson missed on Saturday. It was, I don't even care what kind of defense they're running. Block. You block the guy in front of you. I mean, it's as easy, it's simple. I mean, football is not that complicated of a sport.
You know what? I guarantee it's a ton of people on the opposite side that like, or who plays like players that's like, oh yeah, you think so? Well, go out there and put on a helmet and some shoulder pads if you think it's that easy.
But I'm just saying, you got if you have to perfect what you do. If you're recruited at a 4 or 5 star level, that means you have enough film of you blocking to know that you know how to block. Right. So
I think she just she's handing it to Clemson right now. So that's her team. She's telling y'all.
My whole thing is at the same time, and this goes for sports in general. It could be football, basketball, baseball, whatever, and it goes for coaching in general.
Mm-hmm.
If you got players on the field not performing and they're not performing up to, sit them on the bench, sit them on the sideline, let them analyze the game from the outside perspective so they can see the field, they can see what's going on, they can make adjustments in their mind. But if they're not performing and you just leave them out there, you know what's going to happen? You get the same results. That's what Clemson has gotten for the first 3 weeks of college football. They refuse to take DJ out. He's struggling. They see that he's struggling. He's struggling with getting his passes on target. He's overthrowing the receivers. He's not communicating properly the plays. The receivers are running the wrong routes. Some of it is on the receivers, but he has to be a leader. Mm-hmm. If he can't do that, if he can't go on the field and say, this is what we're doing, make the adjustments, and it doesn't matter what play you run, if he's going to throw the ball over the receiver's head, like, there's something going on.
Right.
Pull him off the field, put somebody else out there and say, look at what's going on. Analyze this. Now we can put you back out there and see if you can fix it. But if you don't do that and you don't make those adjustments, then it frustrates the players, and you can't lean on one or the other. You can't lean on completely on a defense to win a game, and you can't rely completely on an offense to win a game. We see that with Oklahoma every year. Oklahoma has a powerhouse offense every year. They have a garbage defense, and they can't make it through the playoffs because they don't have a defense. Right. They don't have a defense to stop anybody. So they've tried to make adjustments to coaching to get their defense better because you have to be powerful on both sides of the ball.
Well, they're doing fairly well this year.
Yeah, I don't think who they have. They have West Virginia.
West Virginia they're 2-1 right now.
I'm eager to see this game.
I think that's the only. Well, Miami. Well, no, we ain't even putting Miami in that category. We talking about the top 4 right now. So the top 4, I think that's going to be the only competitive game.
I don't.
What other game out of the top 4 teams?
Well, not top 4, but I'm just saying the games in general.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the top 4. The top 4, Alabama, I think it's going to blow out.
Yeah.
Georgia is going to blow out Vanderbilt, and Oregon definitely is going to blow out Arizona.
Yeah.
So I think the Oklahoma game probably going to be like the game that's like probably that you'll be gain some type of entertainment from.
I think the Notre Dame Wisconsin is going to be a good game. Texas A&M and Arkansas is going to be a good game. The Clemson NC State is going to be a good game. NC State and Clemson always play a very close game. That means my nerves get to be tore up all day Saturday. Thanks.
Well, they got NC State down 10 points on the spread.
I don't follow the spread because the spread is really great for, if you do the data analysis and the projections and all of that. you have to understand how teams play one another. Like, I'm sure the Florida-Tennessee spread it is big too, because Florida played Alabama so close. But Tennessee always plays Florida hard. It's almost like Florida playing Alabama hard. Tennessee always plays Florida hard.
So the spread, if you take away the point factor, they've been pretty spot on though. Like they said Miami was gonna lose by 3 points. They lost.
Not by 3 points.
Not by 3 points, but they lost. So if you take away the point factor versus who's going to win versus lose, they've been pretty spot on.
Yeah, the win-loss, yeah. But I'm just saying,
By
like, the points.
So, but they're showing that team to win. So
Yeah.
as Clemson is slated to win right now, even if they win by a field goal, I don't know. We'll see. I don't foresee Clemson losing.
I don't foresee them losing. I just know it's going to be a tough game, and we're going to NC State, and it's always tough up there.
We'll see.
So, I mean, I think there's good games that are slated for Saturday, so you get a fun-filled day. I'm going to pick Wisconsin over Notre Dame, Arkansas to upset Texas A&M, Clemson, of course, and Tennessee to upset Florida.
Who are you picking out of Miami and Central Connecticut?
Miami.
Oh, she want to ride with the home team now.
I mean, it is what it is.
Week 4, right? We'll be back next Friday, and we'll be going into week 4. But we'll be talking about week 4. So did it be good? We'll be talking about Miami. How did Miami perform? How did Clemson perform?
How did Clemson perform?
Yep. How did Oregon perform? Not Oregon. Oklahoma. Oregon got a blowout game.
A blowout
predict.
game.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see some of these. I think if Arkansas wins, which I'm picking them to upset Texas A&M, they have Georgia the following week. So that if they both go in undefeated, I think that's going to be a good game.
Okay. We shall see. Now, what happens if West Virginia beats Oklahoma? Do Oregon move up to number 3? Probably. We shall see. We'll be back next Friday talking to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. You guys have a good weekend.
With the boss's view, you gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association. Joe.